Hey guys, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and since Animal Crossing New Horizons has been released, we've seen a bunch of different updates and patches which have changed the game in significant ways. Mostly these patches and updates introduce new features and content which we've come to know and love. However, sometimes they've actually removed things from the game, whether this be a glitch that they've patched or a feature that people knew about. So in this video, I'll be taking a look at 5 things Nintendo has removed from the game since launch. If you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Animal Crossing content. Quickly, before we begin, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by Disney Emoji Blitz. I'm currently hosting a giveaway for 2 $20 Nintendo eShop cards. If you want to enter in, all you have to do is download the game using my link in the video description, get to level 20, screenshot that and send it to me on Instagram at Crossing Channel. If you do, you'll be entered into the giveaway which ends on May the 13th. So once again, thank you to them for sponsoring this video, and be sure to check that giveaway out and download the game. Number 1, Hybrid Flower Island. So I'm sure you guys love going on Nook Mile ticket tours, whether you're going villager hunting or you're trying to find a bunch of different resources. Maybe you want to find a shark island or a tarantula or a scorpion island. As you may know, there are a ton of different types of islands that you can visit which have different purposes. What you might not have known if you haven't been playing for too long, or if perhaps you never got to see it yourself, is that they used to have a rare hybrid flower island in the game. There was only a tiny percentage of you actually visiting this, but when you did, as you can see via the screenshot on screen, you could actually get yourself a bunch of different hybrid flowers which you could bring home. This was a really great and easy way of building up your own hybrid collection. Now, these islands didn't offer every single type of flower, they didn't offer every single color either, but it gave you a really good start, and of course, getting these you wouldn't have to go through all the effort of breeding the flowers yourself and getting all the different hybrid combinations. You could just go to this island and get them. Of course, that's easier said than done because it was insanely rare. There was only a tiny percentage that you'd actually visit this one out of all the others. However, Nintendo decided to actually remove this island from the pool of islands that you could potentially visit, so you can now no longer ever visit a hybrid flower island. That's why maybe a lot of you are kind of wondering, why have I never ever seen this before? Because it's not been in the game for quite a while now. We don't really know why Nintendo took it out. I'm guessing they decided, okay, maybe this is a bit too broken letting people get this many hybrids. Personally, I don't think that's a very valid reason because they're just flowers at the end of the day. You know, they're not going to break the game, but maybe they felt like it did. Maybe they felt like it was just too low of a chance, there was no point having it. Again, I don't think that's a very good reason. So I honestly don't know why they would decide to remove the Hybrid Flower Island. It was a really great resource for players, especially newer players who maybe didn't know how to breed these flowers, so they could get a bunch for their island and make it look really pretty. I personally visited these so many times and I must have gotten thousands of hybrids from them. Number 2, Earth Day Nook Mile Goals. This is actually quite a recent one, but back in April 2020, we got a big treat from Nintendo for Nature Day when Leaf returned and Bushes returned to the game in a big update. They also added some really cool limited time Nature Day Nook Mile Plus goals, which would reward you with huge amounts of Nook Miles for doing simple tasks like planting bushes, putting a flower in your hair, watering flowers, you name it, anything gardening and outdoor related, you could do it and get a ton of Nook Miles per day. This was really cool, but for some reason, this year in 2021, Nintendo decided not to bring this back. They just, I don't know, they either forgot about it or they just didn't want to bring it back. Maybe they thought this was just a too easy of a way for players to get Nook Miles, which I think is a little bit silly. They're only Nook Miles at the end of the day. Or maybe they decided we're going to do this a different way in the future, maybe make a new event for it, and that's something we'll see at a later date. Who knows, honestly, we really have no idea why they decided to remove it, but it was definitely really cool, and it made doing these activities a little bit more rewarding. It didn't even last that long, it was a very short event, it was mostly kind of there to celebrate, I guess, Bushes and Leaf coming in the game, so maybe that's why they took it out, because it was only ever supposed to be to celebrate the update, but then that doesn't help newer players who missed out on this. I guess a lot of the things on this list are kind of a shame for newer players who didn't get to experience them. That's kind of why I wanted to highlight them, so maybe we will see these goals come back. I think they should have done this for more events, to be honest with you. It would have been a nice little extra, like a bonus, because we do have different Nook Mile goals throughout the year, and this was probably one of the best times to actually utilize those goals, because you could just get so many Nook miles, and it was literally for the most simple tasks that you probably find yourself doing every day. This time around in 2021, we got a cool globe, and don't get me wrong, it is a cool globe, but it's not the same as getting a ton of Nook miles. Number 3, star fragment trees. You guys have probably heard about these and the big drama that it caused when Nintendo decided to remove them from the game last year. Now, I will say I don't currently know the situation of these, but there's no denying that Nintendo made a big effort to actually remove the star trees from the game last year within a patch. I believe this was back in August, I would say, sometime in the late summer. And of course, this is probably something on the list that some of you might find a bit strange because obviously this isn't an official feature. This is something that Nintendo patched out because it was a hacked item, a modified item that players could trade online. But Nintendo decided, nope, we don't want people doing that, we want to take it out of the game. Obviously, I don't want to make a big debate here about whether star trees should have been in the game or not. I made an entire video about this when it happened, and I could see people were very passionate about it, so I don't really want to get into that here. I just kind of wanted to mention that Nintendo did remove the star trees from the game. They made a big effort, they made a patch to make these star trees gone, and make it much more difficult for players to trade them and share them online. So that was definitely something that Nintendo took out, but of course it is a little bit different than the other more official things on this list, which weren't modified by players. Number 4, Big Fish Island. Fishing is of course one of the most iconic Animal Crossing features. We all love to fish. Well, actually I'm kind of terrible at it and it gives me anxiety, but you know what, it's satisfying to get the fish that you really want, especially the rarer ones. And Nintendo gave us a really good opportunity to catch some big rare fish. That is until they removed it from the game. Now this is called Big Fish and Hybrid Flower Island because like the one we saw before, you could actually get hybrid flowers from this one and it was slightly more common than the other Hybrid Flower Island. The catch here is, no pun intended, okay, pun totally intended, you could get bigger fish shadows on average. I don't think the smaller fish shadows could appear here at all, so the little ones and the medium ones couldn't. So it made it a little bit easier to get certain types of rare fish that you might have wanted. This actually probably could have been a good way to get the string fish, which is pretty rare and I believe only appears at a certain point on the map. So it could have worked really well, but Nintendo decided, like with the Hybrid Flower Island, you know what, we're gonna take this away. We don't want people catching big fish or getting more hybrids. I'm guessing the main reason why this island is gone is probably because there's already other types of fish islands and also the fact that this island will give you hybrids. For some reason, Nintendo really does not want players getting hybrids the easy way. You know, you can either agree or disagree with them on that, but there's no way around it. Sadly, they've removed these 2 islands and they've been gone for a long time now, so I don't think we can expect to see them come back anytime soon. But I definitely miss them because they were such a great resource, and if they could make another way for us to get hybrid flowers a little bit easier, that would be great because we could always do with more hybrid flowers, they're very pretty. Number 5, trees on pathways. This is another thing that Nintendo actually patched out of the game, so it wasn't an intended feature that they removed, but it's still something that a lot of players used, and even Nintendo used themselves, that they took out of the game with a patch. Now of course it doesn't really make much sense for them to let you plant trees and bushes on these pathways that are made of stone. You know, it makes literally no sense, but it was a really cool feature that kind of allowed you to decorate your islands even more. I guess it's not really a feature, it's a glitch, but still it was a cool one. And as you can see by this screenshot from Mayor Mori, I'll link his video about this glitch in the description. It was a really neat way to kind of decorate even more than you originally could and surpass some of the limits of the game, which was neat. However, sadly, Nintendo caught on and they decided to patch it out of the game, so it is currently gone and you can no longer do this, which is a shame, but I guess it was never intended to be there to begin with. Now, something really funny about this one is that Nintendo actually used this themselves in one of their trailers. This is the Sanrio crossover trailer they released in February when the glitch was still possible, and you can see that whoever made this island at Nintendo had been using that glitch themselves, so I'm not sure if maybe they brought it to the attention of Nintendo, or all the really massive videos that talked about it brought it to the attention of Nintendo. But as soon as Nintendo properly figured out that you could do this, they patched it because I guess, you know, it is a bit strange. You obviously can't grow these types of things on solid concrete or whatever. but it was still pretty cool, you know? It would have been great to see this glitch remain in the game or even be a feature at some point, because there are already enough limitations in Animal Crossing, so having more ways to decorate and remove some of those limitations would be fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at these 5 things that Nintendo has removed from the game since the launch of New Horizons. I'm sure there are even more things that I probably forgot about, really tiny, obscure things, so if you can think of any, be sure to leave a comment down below, and also let me know in the comment section which of these things do you miss the most. Also, if you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you watched all the way through. If you want to help support me and the channel, click the join button down below the video to become a member of the Bob's Gang. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, and you get featured at the end of every video, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching this video, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. You can leave a like if you enjoyed, and you can check out 2 more Animal Crossing videos on the right side of the screen. Thank you once again for watching, and catch you in the next video.